Hello everyone, this video has been several months in the making and I'm very excited to start finally doing my ranking of all 13 X-Men movies. Let's get into it. Full spoilers for every movie. Last place at number 13, X-Men Origins Wolverine. This movie is just bad. I mean, Hugh Jackman's performance is great. There are definitely some fun moments, but it's hampered by way too bad special effects that are too cartoonish, a very weak plot, too many plot contrivances, the fact that they took Ryan Reynolds and took off his mouth, a very bloated finale, weak plot, bad plot twists. The only real pros are the intro with like the going through the history with Wolverine and Sabretooth is pretty cool. I actually do like Liev Schreiber, or however you say his name, as Sabretooth. I think he works pretty well. So Wolverine and Sabretooth as characters, I like them. Everything else kind of sucks. Number 12, The New Mutants. This movie doesn't really need to exist. I mean, I can kind of see what they were going for. Kind of a bit of a horror element, a coming of age element, but it just kind of meshes together in a really not great way. None of the characters are fully fleshed out. When it is scary at times, it never really fully goes there, and it ends in like this giant finale against a demon bear that's CGI action-packed. Well, the final scene was nice, and some of the characters were okay. Overall, it doesn't really justify existence. It doesn't really justify its own existence a lot. Number 11, X-Men 3, The Last Stand. This movie just has too many things going on. It's got Magneto's, like, revolution. It's got the Dark Phoenix. It's got the, X-Men cure. Meanwhile, we got, like, the early on death of Scott Summers. We've got the introduction of Angel and Juggernaut. It's just too many things happening at once. They unceremoniously kill off Cyclops and Professor X. And, well, there definitely are some cool things. I think it's cool that Magneto's big punishment was not death, but having his powers taken away. I like Logan in this, and the action's pretty cool at times. But overall, it's just too much in so many ways. And number 10 is X-Men Dark Phoenix. Once again, the Dark Phoenix storyline doesn't work because it doesn't have nearly enough time to be drawn about. And this movie, well, I like it a little more than the last one. I like the whole cast. I like the action sequences, especially the one on the train. Once again, the Dark Phoenix storyline doesn't have enough time to grow. And the villain of Jessica Chastain is just awful. Like, I don't even remember her name. I don't remember what she was trying to do. I just remember she was there and she looked weird. I did like the final scene, though, of Charles and Eric kind of getting back together as friends. I did like that. That was cool. At number 9, The Wolverine. For the first 2/3 of this movie, it was pretty good. A cool Wolverine samurai action film set in Japan with some good sequences, some cool characters, and a great kind of factor of Logan loses healing powers, which I think added to the movie. I also really liked that point in the end where he finally gets his powers back and he defeats a guy in a really cool scene. And then the third act is this giant CGI robot battle that really freaking sucks. It just kind of draws me out of the movie, and it maybe drops this movie from like a 8.5 down to like a 7. So the first 2/3 are great. The last third is Number 8, X-Men Apocalypse. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for this movie. I definitely see its flaws. Apocalypse is a weak villain. The third act is just too much. And it never really has proper time to build. But I do like Quicksilver, and I like the whole new X-Men cast. I like Cyclops, I like Jean Grey, Storm. It's just cool to see Magneto and Charles again. And Quicksilver's whole super speed, Sweet Dreams Are Made of These scene probably bumps this movie up a whole 1 or 2 points on like the score rating. So it's really fun at times. I like the whole cast. It's just villain and his plot could have been better. Number 7, right smack dab in the middle of this list, fittingly enough, the original X-Men. This movie has a good cast, fun action scenes. I like the whole finale with the Statue of Liberty. It is just a very basic level superhero movie. It doesn't really store much beyond that. It introduces the characters. I think Patrick Stewart is the perfect cast as Professor X. Hugh Jackman does really well in his first role as Logan. I like how Rogue kind of has a nice point in this story. And honestly, I don't have too much more to say about this. It's just like, this is one of the earliest Marvel superhero movies, and it works. It's pretty baseline, pretty average, but I think it's okay. And number 6, the sequel, X2, also called X-Men United. But this movie is definitely a little bit of a better one. I like how it ties into Wolverine's origin story, Everything with them trying to capture mutants is really, really well done, and I think it has a lot better third act. And while definitely some of the Wolverine and Jean stuff is weird, I like the return of Professor X and how he ties into the story. I like how Magneto is like kind of like in the middle. And so it's just a good, solid, fun superhero movie. Doesn't soar too much higher than the original X-Men, but it soars just a little bit higher to where I can see it as the better one. Number 5, taking a big leap in quality, X-Men, Days of Future Past. This movie is really cool due to the time travel aspects and just the way it blends the original and the new actors. It's got some cool sequences like the opening of Quicksilver. I like seeing the return of so many actors like Iceman, Cyclops, Jean Grey. It's so great to see them all again. And it's also cool seeing Wolverine interact with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. And the third act is really well done. And the ending is just so great, kind of showing a world where X3 never happened, all the X-Men are happy. I think that worked out great, while also teasing more adventures for the younger cast. I really like that. So this is just a great, solid X-Men movie. Number 4, X-Men First Class. This movie is freaking fantastic. It is just a genius idea of, okay, let's have an origin story about Professor X meeting Magneto and the first team of X-Men. It takes place in the 60s, and it's very stylistic and fun, and it kind of takes place in the heat of the Cold War. It's amazing. It's got a perfect casting with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. I like the Wolverine cameo. The third act is really emotional and intense. And it is just an absolute blast. Matthew Vaughn's direction is really well done, and I just love this movie. Number 3, Deadpool. I know a lot of people are wondering why I have this so high on this list, but that's because it's really fun, it's really funny, it's got a lot of heart, and Ryan Reynolds is just perfect in this role. I like the way Vanessa ties into the story, I like the use of music. I just have a blast every time I watch this movie. It might be the most rewatchable movie on this entire list. It's a lot of fun, and I'd recommend it to anyone. At number 2, the sequel, Deadpool 2. This is just like the first movie, but a lot funnier, a lot more meta gags. I like the introduction of Cable and Domino. The way Vanessa's death ties into the story is really impactful. I love the use of time travel, and I just love the way family ties into it. I know a lot of people don't like Deadpool 2. They say it's worse than the original. I really like Deadpool 2. I like the messages. I like the action sequences. And sure, it's a dumb, bloody action comedy, but it's also got a lot of heart, and I really do love it. But at number 1, of course, Logan. It is just, it doesn't even feel like a superhero movie. It is a Western about an aging hero who has to get back for one more time to save this girl. It's got the brilliant performances of Daphne Keane, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart. An emotional finale, an emotional death to Logan. It just feels like the perfect cap to Hugh Jackman's time in this character. It can be funny, it can be heartfelt, it has the great theme of family, and I like how it just feels like a finale. And it's not afraid to go there and be intense, but it also has this heart that pushes the movie onward. So Logan is, of course, number 1. So I hope you guys liked the video on my Road to 200 series. Just a couple more videos coming soon before that big 200th video. So I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.